I guess things have been escalating a little bit, and well, we're still being, or rather, the story is still being interspersed with a bunch of waifu moments, silly moments, I guess. But I guess at the same time, they are optional, right? You could like ignore, for example, Akira at the roof, and talking with Elizabeth. You can skip those sections, alright, and keep the tension high. So, but yeah, things are getting more serious, more and more serious. And what I've been saying before, like, I wish, I don't know, because the thing is with the way it's being advertised, I guess advertised, quote unquote, not in the like traditional sense, more so like how it's presented, I guess. Just on the store page, on itch.io, description and stuff. It's been like it's being presented as like a mystery game, but most of its content is like waifu, comedy, romance, slice of life anime, right? That's mostly what's been happening. And it's only until like, I don't know, 20 hours or around that time, at least for me anyway, but of course, well, I take a little longer because I read everything aloud, but only after like 20 hours do things get like to the mystery part, right? The actual murder mystery, which, I mean, again, I wish that the game, the way it was marketed, I wish it focused on that cheery, slice of life, innocent premise, and then, just kept the mystery, gruesome murder stuff, hidden away or obfuscated. But obviously, still give like warnings, if it does get like a little gory or something like that. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, the game probably would have, been more of a. I don't know what the word is. More surprising if it did that. More memorable. Because otherwise, I feel like when most people play this game, they just think about the mystery part firsthand, and then they they might get annoyed by all the other sections, yeah, right, where everything's all light and fluffy. Which again, I said before, I personally don't mind, but I wish it was the other way around, right? I wish all the like silly anime stuff was front loaded, clearly front loaded, and then later it gets to the dark stuff, right? It's more, I feel like it's more striking that way, what do I know? Anyway, let's just get back to it. So we just survived drowning in the river because we're idiots. We try to save someone, but drowned ourselves. And it might have less to do with our ability to swim, and more so, for some reason, we might have some drama about that river, maybe? Being related, from what we learned, like his sister, Mizu, who I assume isn't around anymore. I wonder why that is. But for now, the moment I'm back, I take a quick shower, still feeling grimy from the river water. As I soak my uniform in a tub of detergent, my phone suddenly pings in my pocket. I wipe off my hands before I steal a glance. Who's this from? Rui? Oh. Going home tonight. Parents sign exemption from curfew. They don't need me for anything, right? Going home? All of a sudden? Well, I guess that her house is only 1 hour away by the subway. By the time she gets back, it'll already be 8:30. I'm fine. Everything okay? I wait, but don't receive another message. Well, suit herself. At least I asked. I hang my uniform over the shower and head to the living room, plopping down on the sofa. It's been such a long day, it's definitely nice to catch my breath for a second. Or not. Oh, it's Misaki? I warily crack the door open, but it's just Misaki, twirling her phone between her fingers in obvious worry. Misaki? Now that I think about it, she wasn't at school today, was she? I widened the gap in the door, pasting on a smile. Now, what brings you here? Are you about to sleep? So early? What? Oh, right, showered and in my pajamas. No, this is, well, it's a long story. What have you been up to? I didn't see you in school today. I was preoccupied with work due to the Kusunoki incident. I came to thank you for yesterday. No, you could have just called me. I wanted to thank you in person. Something about her tone tells me that it isn't the only reason she came, but I'm really not in the mood to probe her about it. There was no problem. I'll see you tomorrow, Miki. I begin closing the door, but she stops it with her foot. She came in person. Yama, wink wink. No, Yama, is there something wrong? What makes you say that? Answering a question with another question just proves that there is. I'm here if you want to talk about it. Besides, there's something I've been meaning to tell you myself. Sure. I guess, again, we're getting these waifu options, I guess. Either we engage in the waifu, or we just don't. And, I mean, it's kind of boring not to, right? So, invite. Sure, come in. I step to the side so she can enter. She glances around my apartment as she slides her shoes against the wall. So this is your apartment. It's a lot cleaner than I expected. Oh, thanks, I think. After her examination, she perches on my sofa. I slouch beside her. About my outburst yesterday, I'm sorry you had to see that. It's fine, you don't have to apologize. I do. I was out of line. I just didn't want to affect your relationship with Ryui. Don't tell me you're trying to pair us up too. Ta-da! Zoom! Misaki suddenly grabs me by the collar, a hard glint in her eyes. What's the deal? You practically known her forever. I just don't feel that way about her. Yes you do, Yama, shut up. How do you feel about her then? She's just a friend. She examines me for a moment, not critically, but extremely bewildered. It's clear that Ryui doesn't feel the same way. Have you spoken to her about it? She wouldn't take it well. I'd only end up hurting her. Don't you think avoiding the subject would have hurt her more? How would it hurt her? She's holding back in hopes that you make the first move. It's romance 101, Yama, you stupid idiot. I can't exactly do anything about that, Miki. She sighs, releasing me as she slumps back into the sofa. I still think you should have a talk with her. Rationally speaking, she's right. Maybe it is unfair. Maybe I'm being selfish, but Ryu's my friend, first and foremost. I'm not sure if I want to lose that. Yeah, it's not so much her, like, getting hurt. It's about Yama getting hurt. You know? That's what it's really about. I'll keep that in mind. She waves her hand dismissively. Anyway, mind explaining that bruise on your face? What? Oh, yeah. The argument I had with Masato. I lay my head back, unsure of where to begin. Obviously, I can't tell her the whole story. I'm not sure how she'd react if I mentioned that I almost drowned today, especially since she knows about my condition. Well, lying is not good, Yama. Didn't you learn that from your teacher? Long time ago? I got into a fight with Masato earlier. Really? About what? A sudden flood of negative emotions pounds me as I recall the event. I don't even know. He just seemed angry. Kept telling me that I wasn't trying hard enough. I thought he was talking about track. He's been trying to get me to join track every day. But it didn't sound like it. I see. Misaki considers this for a moment as she twirls her phone between her fingers. I used to have a friend in Seto some years ago. At first, we never really got along much, to be honest. Every time I asked if he wanted to hang out with me, he usually refused, so I ended up dragging him along anyway. After a while, I started to think he might have hated me. I could have just stopped talking to him, but it made me angry that he didn't want to tell me what his problem was. So one day I just snapped at him. Thinking back on it now, I feel really bad for doing it. Because I didn't know that he was dealing with his own issues. Her words come out in barely a whisper, her eyes drifting to the floor. She's talking about me, isn't she? Yeah, Einstein. I feel a knot form in my chest as the memories from back then resurface. No, I'd rather not be reminded of that time. Not again. Not so soon. What exactly is your point, Misaki? My words come out harsher than intended, but I don't apologize. She seems taken aback at my response. It's just, I think whatever's bothering Masato, it must be something personal. Otherwise, he would have outright told you what his problem was. I suppose she's right, in a way. It's just that Masato's so straightforward about everything. For him to be so roundabout now is understandably strange. Anyway, I'm in the mood for some fresh air. What about you? I guess she must have noticed that she brought up a touchy subject. Sure, why not? I've noticed the school's rooftop is a great place for stargazing. We should go up there now. Well, the school's locked down at this hour. Curfew, remember? And your point is? Is she actually suggesting that we break into the school? You rebel, you. I guess a change of scenery would probably do me some good. Just lead the way. She smiles as she darts out into the street. I follow closely, taking in the brisk evening air. We pull up at the front gate, slightly out of breath. I slide my card through the receptor, but only buzzes at me. What? The curfew keeps out off-campus students and automatically reports on-campus students who return late. So what, do we climb the gate? It's armed, Yama. There are laser sensors. My card is exempt, remember? She slides her card. Sure enough, the receptor blinks green. Misaki props the gate open with a smirk. Ladies first. You're such a gentleman. She only giggles as I pass through the gate. So where to? The classroom building has a side door for the janitor. It's accessible by key rather than card. We can head to the rooftop from there. When'd you get the building key? Never. She darts to the side of the building, gesturing for me to follow her. I squint through the darkness as she kneels down, feeling the side of the building. Finally, satisfied, she withdraws something from within her jacket. It's a plain fabric case, which she unzips and dumps on the ground. Now what's that? Shh. She picks up two thin metallic objects from the ground. They glint dimly they glint in the dim streetlight. Are those bobby pins? Yes, they are. She hastily bends the larger one at the right angle and snaps the small one in half. She then turns to the door. I peer over her shoulder, trying to see. You're standing in my light. Oh, sorry. I crouch for a better view. She's unusually focused as she threads a large pin at the bottom of the lock, pushing it downwards with her thumb. I didn't know you could pick locks. Don't tell my agent. What? Why would I do that? Don't post it on Patter either. Wouldn't even know how. Satisfied, she inserts the smaller pin into the top of the lock, wiggling it gently. There we go. I hear a satisfying click and the door gently swings open. Misaki smiles proudly and waltzes inside. And well, I mean, you always see in video games lockpicking that takes only a few minutes. In actuality, lockpicking in real life takes quite a while. And it's quite more involved than just using some bobby pins, Yeah. But, well, doesn't matter. This is an anime anyway. Well, right behind you. She disappears into the darkness. I step after her. As we plod up the stairs, I decide to satisfy some of my questions. Neat trick. Where'd you learn it? It's better not to know. What if I want to learn it? I doubt you're criminal material, Yama. And you are? Come on, I'm just curious. Where was it? Finishing school? Princess training? A playful giggle betrays her amusement, but she quickly clamps it short. If you must know, District 6. District 6. If I recall, she had told Ryui that she moved there with Satomi. We're here. Before I'm able to ask her about it, she pushes through the door and onto the rooftop. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if she was, what's the word? She was, forced to, steal for a living. Break and, like, rob places and stuff. And I guess, yeah, she is criminal material then, if that's the case. Anyway. Well, she's right about one thing. The scenery is beautiful at this hour. Despite the noticeable light pollution, it's not difficult to see the copious amount of stars in the sky. Silver streams of glitter populate the colored expanse around the moon, smiling down at the bustling city below. Everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die. If they did something to super duper impress the heavens, I guess. Oh, yeah. CG! I guess, yeah, that quote was when they were kids, right? She told the story of the princess praying towards the stars, or like writing her wish and giving it to the stars and stuff. I smile bitterly as I settle next to Misaki on the bench. Pretty, isn't it? Yeah. It reminds me of the time we met at the festival. You haven't changed much since then, you know? You're always such a strong person. That's a bit of an overstatement. Misaki shakes her head, her expression solemn. Honestly, Yama, I mean it. If you weren't, well, you probably wouldn't even be here right now. What do you mean? Ryui had told me what happened after I had left Seto. Oh, right. Do you resent me, Yama? No, of course not. It's not like you wanted to move, right? Yes, but... She pauses, unsure of how to continue. I'm sure you still want to know why I moved, don't you? I would be lying if I said that I didn't, so I nod. She takes a moment to collect herself before speaking. Do you remember when my father had lost his job? It was around Ryu's birthday. Yeah, I remember that. Well, when my mother found out, she wasn't exactly so understanding. Instead of supporting him, she actually blamed him for not working hard enough. You weren't assertive. You always let people walk all over you. You're weak, useless, pathetic. Misaki digs her nails into her skirt until her knuckles turn white. It wasn't his fault, of course. After the financial crash, my father's company went under, so there really wasn't much he could do. Eventually, he started working for a construction company. The pay wasn't all that great, but something was better than nothing, you know? He worked himself to the bone, while my mother was out doing God knows what. Then one day, he just never came home. It wasn't rare for him to take extra shifts, so I assumed that he was still working. But when my mother began selling his things, I realized that something was wrong. I still remember what she told me when I asked her about it. He's dead. He won't be needing it anymore. She turns to me, her eyes shimmer in the moonlight as she wipes her face with her sleeve. Jun had died? I didn't believe her. I didn't want to believe her. Dead? How could he be dead? But he was. There was no denying it. They said he had overdosed on painkillers while he was out working. I wanted to believe that it was an accident, that he didn't mean to take so many, but honestly, I don't know. He was so stressed, so tired, so restricted. Painkillers, painkiller overdose. That sounds familiar. There's an ache in my chest as past images flicker in my mind. I grit my teeth in an attempt to dispel them. Oh, so that's why you moved. Misaki nods solemnly. We couldn't afford staying in Seto, so my mother and I moved to District 6 soon after my father died. I never went to his funeral, never said goodbye to my friends, we just left. A silence pervades over the rooftop as I digest this information. Although I don't remember Satomi much, I would never imagine she would do something like that. I guess that explains Misaki's resentment towards her. Do you still live with her? Misaki averts her gaze, again, twirling her phone between her fingers. It must be a nervous habit of hers. She couldn't care for me anymore. I eventually had to move in with my parents. That's why I'm attending the academy, and I work part-time for Lotus. Oh. I noticed Misaki's hands trembling. As close as we were, it must have been hard for her to tell me about her father. Solo IO? Sorry, what's the question? Someone in chat is saying solo? Is this, I guess, a solo playthrough? I guess it is. You know, which reminds me, yeah, sometimes when people go through visual novels, sometimes multiple people do the voices and stuff, but I just do everything. Well, even though I'm not the greatest voice actor in the world, however. And actually, what did Misaki say? Yeah, I had to move in with grandparents, okay. Oh, so yeah, she couldn't live with her mother anymore. Okay, yeah, I was kind of glossing over that as I read it. But yeah, okay, that's her situation. So she moved in with her grandparents, and that's why she's here now. Okay. I feel like I should comfort her somehow, but I haven't a clue how to go about it. That's mostly Ryui's department. An idea strikes me, and I whip out my phone, placing it on Misaki's lap. Oh, what's this? My phone. What does it look like? I know that. What do you want me to do with it? Well, I was wondering if you could show me how to use Pattern. She regards me with an upturned brow for a moment, but then breaks into a bright smile. Of course. Well, I guess, yeah, we're changing the subject to something more light. Without hesitation, she picks up my phone and expertly swipes across the screen. First, you need to go to Patter's web address. Then you have to register for a new account. What do you want your username to be? Can it just be my actual name? Well, only if you want it to be boring. So what's the problem? I'll just choose one for you. Now don't give me something too embarrassing, Mickey. Don't worry, it'll only be mildly embarrassing. She taps at the screen in quick succession. When she's finished, she brings it up to my face. How's this? Yams? It's cute, right? I don't know. Actually, who called us yams before? Our sister, right? Mizu? Too late, I signed in. Mickey. Misaki giggles as she fiddles with her own phone by her side. Now you need some followers. I'll be your first. Followers? They're people who can view your pats. Build up your social media following. Pats? Oh, pats are updates, which you can type a message in 90 characters or less. Tweets. You also have the option to attach a file to your pats. A file? I know you know what files are, Yama. Honestly, I don't. Honestly, I do. I just want to annoy her. Files are pictures, videos, documents, things like that. Oh, interesting. A few seconds later, a soft ping emanates from my phone. There we go. So you're following me now. Yep. How many followers do you have? Have a look. Tap on my profile. She hands me my phone and I do as instructed. Wait, this number can't be right. It says you have over 9,000 followers. Ah, that's pretty good, actually. I wish I could have 9,000 followers. But then again, well. Anyway. How do you even get that many people? Misaki shrugs, as if she doesn't know either. I suppose it's because I work for Lotus. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I take a moment to browse through Patter. It seems pretty self-explanatory. Write an update, your followers view said update, and they have the option to share it with their own followers. Honestly, it's not the most exciting thing I've seen, but I can understand why some people find it addicting. Just commentary about Twitter. On my Twitter, I just follow a bunch of people who like anime, and also developers as well. I often ask indie developers if I can play their game, because I want to make sure that I have their permission. But also sometimes I have to make sure, because I don't want to bother developers though on Twitter, because sometimes they already have policies in place that say whether or not you can do like you can record gameplay footage of their games already. So and I make sure I look at that first before I ask any developers or publishers in person, because I don't want to annoy them and all that. But anyway, I also just use Twitter to, I guess, update, like give an update on YouTube videos when they're uploaded, and whenever I stream I also tweet, I guess. I mean, it's not, I mean, the way I do is not the most useful thing in the world, it's kind of dry, but I don't know, I see like other people do it, so that's what I do, you know? I guess from time to time I tweet a little, but usually, I mean, for Twitter, I don't use Twitter all that much really. I just use it to like, well, I follow this one person called SighingSlider. That's the biggest reason why I use Twitter really. This person on Twitter named SighingSlider, who's well, I mean, I say popular, I guess. I don't know how popular would you be to be an internet celebrity, I don't know, but SighingSlider's pretty known for being a redditor at my favorite subreddits, Anime IRL and Animemes. And as well, I guess they're a moderator too, I guess. So yeah, I just like them. They tweet very interesting things, I'd say. Anyway, so what should I post? Anything you want. Usually I try attaching pictures since they get more attention. Okay. Why not pat something about the stars? The patter veteran must have noticed my confusion as she offers a suggestion. Well, you wouldn't see them with my camera. Oh, you're right. Why not? No, you could, Misaki scrunches her face in thought as she glances around for something to pat about. Did she really put this much thought up into it? Oh, what's that? I tried tracing her gaze, but see nothing. I don't see anything. There, near the tree. There are a bunch of trees up here, Miki. She grabs my hand and points furiously ahead of us. I strain my eyes in the darkness, trying to make out the faint image. Sure enough, I spot something small lying up on one of the benches. Is that a neko? Nyan nyan. I don't know whether to be more surprised at Misaki's remarkable eyesight or the fact that there's a random cat on the school rooftop. Let's go pat it. What if it has rabies? It could call you. Don't tell me you're scared of a little kitty, Yama. I never said that I was scared. Then quit complaining and follow me. I guess we're tweeting cat pictures. The ultimate tweet to get all of the followers. Cat pictures. Wow. Not allowing any room for argument, Misaki slowly stalks over to the mysterious feline, leaving me alone on the bench. I sigh deeply. I don't know why I bother. Fine, but I'm not touching it. I follow her lead, walking behind her. As we draw closer, the cat's ears perk up. We immediately stop in our tracks. It's gonna run away. Shh! Shush! Hearing us, the cat lazily turns its head in our direction. Its eyes glower at us in a brilliant green. I don't think he's happy we disturb his nap. It's a she. How do you know? Trust me, I've been around quite a few strays before. That doesn't really prove much, but I don't have the cat expertise to question her. Misaki inches closer. I hold my breath as she deftly lays her hand on the cat's head. Surprisingly, it doesn't jump at her, instead focusing its attention on grooming itself. We should name her. You're not thinking of taking it, are you? Of course not. I'm not allowed to anyway. She says this dejectedly as she strokes the cat's black fur. Getting a closer look, I notice its right ear is clipped as if it's been in a fight. What about Clipper? What kind of name is Clipper for a girl? Well, you asked for a name. You didn't say it had to be good. What about Chocola. Isn't she from Nekopara? Chocola? It's perfect, don't you think? She has a black coat. I guess. Chocola the cat girl. Amazing. A notification ping redirects my attention to my phone. Alright, I should probably go ahead and pat the cat. I aim my camera at Misaki and Chocola. Chocola yawns but remains relatively unaffected by the picture. Now just type your message and you've made your first pat. Alright. Unsure of what to type, I put something generic. On rooftop with Mickey and Chocola. As I post the pat, I notice the timestamp on the update. Is it really this late? Well, we should probably get going now. But Chocola, I'm sure we'll see her again. Probably, I think. Misaki stands up, elbowing me playfully. Then I'll race you to the bottom of the stairs. Before I have a chance to react, Misaki bolts away without warning. I speed after her, yelling in indignation, but smiling all the while. We don't just run to the bottom of the stairs, we stop only when we hit the gate, tapping the receptor in some twisted form of relay race. I win. You got a head start. Still won. You never did play fair. I take a moment to catch my breath before speaking again. Say, Miki. Thanks for telling me. She looks confused for a moment, but then seems to remember. I should be the one thanking you. For what? For listening to what I had to say. I smile warmly. Of course. I'll see you later, Miki. Good night, Yama. She slides her card and the gate swings open. I head back to my apartment, relishing the crisp night air. My dread all but dissipated. Sleep comes quickly to me. I wake in a daze, staring emptily at the ceiling. My jaw is pounding in pain, my lungs are still burning, I guess. Even Adventures of Misaki doesn't dull the pain in my jaw, where we got punched, I guess. And also, of course, drowning. Seems like drowning isn't great for your health. Who would have thought? I briefly check the time. Still early. Way early. Who are we calling? Or rather, we're just checking our mail, I guess. It looks like I've gotten yet another email. Now, Crimson Crusade. Do or do not. Isn't that... That's a Yoda quote from Star Wars. Well, perhaps you do have a chance. A chance that you are not looking for because it frightens you. Do what you think is right, Mr. Troll. Even if there are those who mock you or do not understand you. Best of luck. It's so accurate that I can only stare in disbelief. A single ridiculous thought comes to my mind. It's as if I'm speaking to myself. Is it yourself? Or, I mean... I don't know. There was that time that earlier on, like we did like write messages and we did get a reply pretty quickly, so I don't think it's literally myself that's doing it. Then again, we've been having these amnesic episodes, so maybe? I don't know. We might be replying to ourselves. But that's just crazy, right? It can't be. I was there when the first replies came. They came quickly. They came consecutively. I didn't lasp, I didn't skip, but there are ways to schedule emails. What if I knew how I would respond? No, this is stupid and ridiculous. I just need to stop thinking. I hope you're right. None of my friends really get what's going on. I can't tell them either. What do you think the right choice is? There, the test. If the recipient knows what I'm talking about... I'm so paranoid. I stumble out of the bed and changed my uniform, and then dig through the fridge for some breakfast. Porridge, fruit, eggs... doorbell. Or not doorbell, rather... phone call. Oh, Akira. Why would Akira be calling me? Hello? Yama, thank heavens! The relief in her voice is palpable. Is everything okay? Have you seen Ryui? Please, 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 tell me you've seen Ryui. Oh no, is she actually missing this time? She left the dorms and she hasn't come back and... wait, slow down. She went home for the night, remember? Oh, I guess, yeah. She told me that. Home? She sounds genuinely bewildered. Didn't she tell you? Silence on the other end. When Akira speaks again, her voice is shaking. Oh, yeah, home. Oh, pardon me, Colonel. It slipped my mind like an eel on a peel. Did Ryui not tell Akira? But how could Akira not know? They're roommates. More than that, they're best friends. Unless they got into a fight? Then it would all make sense. Why Ryui went home all of a sudden, even if she could only stay for a few hours. Why Akira wouldn't know of her whereabouts. I could bring it up. It seems to be bothering her. Well, obviously we're gonna ask. Because if it wasn't a fight, then, well, Ryu might actually be missing then, I don't know. This sounds like it could be urgent. Did something happen between you and Ryui? I really can't hide anything from you, can I, Colonel? I should feel accomplished, but the pain in her voice robs me of any sense of triumph. If you don't really want to talk about it... No, actually, well... She trails off awkwardly. I decide to help her along. Want me to come to school? Could you? Well, I am physically capable of walking. Oh, poot, Colonel. You know what I mean. I'll meet you in the cafeteria in 15. Okay. Thanks, Yama. She quickly hangs up, leaving me to wolf down my breakfast. I jog to school just as the sun begins to creep into the sky, washing the chilly night air with a hint of warmth. Akira is waiting by the front gate, eyes fixed on her shoes. Once again, I'm stricken by how empty the entrance is. Oh, Colonel! Morning. Morning. I notice her unusual reaction, but I decide to let it go. Cafeteria? Yeah. Okay, what happened between you and Ryui, Akira? She leads the way to the school dining hall, her footsteps heavy against the brick pathway beneath our feet. The large, extravagant room is also remarkably empty. Only a few early stragglers are scattered around the corners, scrolling idly through their phones or bobbing their heads to music. Another CG, hooray! Akira leads me to a table near the wall, settling in a cushioned chair with her arms resting lightly on her knees. Can I ask you something, Colonel? What? Why did you come? Why did I come? What kind of question is that? Well, you seem awfully torn up about something. And that's why you came? I guess. But what about Ryui? Huh? You're worried about her, right? She is, after all, your one true love. I can only snort. She's my friend, if that's what you mean. And you honestly don't feel anything for her? Not romantically. Weren't we supposed to be talking about her and Ryui, not me and Ryui? What is it? We fought. The words are so plain and direct that it takes me a moment to process. After the impromptu drama performance, she was really upset. From the performance? That would have been nice, but no. I tell you why, Colonel, but then I'd have to kill you. She rapidly switches between saying something deathly serious and saying something flippant. I'm not sure how to react to her words. Right, and war was to be had. We turned against one another, brother against brother, and mother against mother. The words were harsh, the strikes were unclean, and neither claimed victory. Her wild imagination seems to be getting the better of her. From what I can tell, she and Ryu just had a terrible argument. So what happened? Her forces fled and did not return. For 5 hours and half an hour, we lay in wait, readying our weapons for the moment when they would once again lay siege to our fortress. But that time never came. You waited 5.5 hours for her to come back? You're so unimaginative, Colonel. On the contrary, I'm pretty sure that Akira has a little too much imagination. It borderlines on delusion, or a little too much imagination. I won't judge though. Not today. If anything, her scenarios seem to be a coping mechanism. Why didn't she tell you that she was going home? Was the argument that terrible? It lasted for 70 years and resulted in billions of casualties. So, it must have been incredibly intense. Interesting. I never witnessed Akira and Ryui in a fight. With their similar personalities, I would have thought they would try to solve things peacefully. So, you were worried about her. You're a good friend. No. No, I'm a terrible friend. I'm just like a politician. I'm too scared to do anything directly, so I become a liar to get what I want. This harsh self-criticism is enough to unsettle me. Perhaps it's simply my inner nature to be contradictory and a devil's advocate, but I want to counter everything she has to say. And now she's being all weird. Didn't you have a similar conversation with Masato? Masato was being all weird and stuff? But you can understand Akira, but you can't understand Masato? But then again, like, Masato was, like, being, what's the word? He was being, like, hostile, right? You know? So, I guess, yeah, in this context, it's a lot more calmer. You know, there's no, like, there's no anger in this conversation. So it's easier to understand her quirks. The way she's saying things. An actual terrible friend would never say that. Yeah, no, like an actual terrible friend wouldn't care, right? But she does. So you may say, but this isn't anything new, Colonel. I can't seem to help anyone. Not as myself, not as Shadow Bell, not as a dragon. My brain suddenly makes a connection and I finally understand something. Is that why you try so hard to be different? Different people change the world, Colonel. Aren't you just lying to yourself? She smiles sadly, an edge of pain to her lips. If I can help just one person, what does it matter? But then again, it looks like I can't even do that. She abruptly stands, nodding quietly at me. Well, thanks for the talk, Colonel. Time to get to class. Let me walk you. No, I'll be fine. She strides out of the cafeteria without explanation. I'm frozen for a moment, working to process everything that I've learned. I've always known there was more to Akira than just a crazy, fun-loving thespian, but I never expected to catch the glimpse that I did. Maybe we have more in common than I originally thought. You know, someone who lies to themselves, right? I returned to the classroom in a daze, pondering this new turn of events. Even though I'm only slightly early, the classroom is already at full attendance. I guess that with curfew in effect, there isn't much else to do except come to class on time. You sure? I turn to the door. Yahiko is standing in the entryway, speaking quietly with the stocky boy from yesterday, Haru Bunya. I mean, what if you're right? Then I will be damn glad that I decided to talk when I did. Maybe you shouldn't try this. Not yet. Why do you keep trying to stop me? 3 people, Haru. The 3 people who were at the first meeting are gone. First meeting? First meeting of what? That's why I need to talk to her, today. But you know the rumors. Shoji talked to her and he's fine. Be careful, dude. When am I not? Haru nods in farewell and disappears down the hall. Yahiko agitatedly rubs at his hair as he takes his seat. I'd better choose my words carefully. Who is that? Huh? Oh, Haru? He's a club member. Club member? Of the best club on earth, of course. The Happy Club, making people happy since 2018. Oh yeah, the Happy Club. I'd always thought it sounded like the stupidest thing in existence, but something dawns on me. Also, we have confirmed that this takes place in 2018, I guess, yeah. I don't think we've ever, saw a date in this game before. As far as I know, I can't remember anyway. But, Yeah, yeah, go just stay right there. It's 2018. And the time I'm recording this, it's 2018. I don't know. Was the game made this year? I don't think so. I think it was made like a few years ago, actually, like 2 years ago, maybe. Then again, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing up my release dates, I guess, with other games. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Happy Club. I'd always thought that it sounded like the stupidest thing in existence, but something dawns on me. What do you do in the Happy Club? I'd always assumed that it had something to do with alcohol or gambling, but... Why? We make depressed people happy, of course. Interesting. That might have some relation to how the victims have psychological issues as well, right? I'm taken aback at this sudden display of altruism. And maybe that's why Yahiko is so worried, right? Because the victims were part of his club, or at least part of the people that he interacted, you know, in his club. Why? Why not? Not because he wants the undying loyalty of his future minions, not because he wants to have a statue erected in his honor. I want to ask more, but the teacher promptly strides into the classroom, rapping her pointer against the nearest table. The students quietly assemble. 3 people who were at the first meeting are gone. Could Yahiko have been talking about his club? 3 of the victims attended the Happy Club? But what about the first 2 deaths before the Happy Club was even founded? Could they have a link to Yahiko? Could Yahiko know anything about the murders? You're looking particularly attentive today, Yama. Would you like to answer this question? I look up to the board. A terrifyingly large picture of a mutilated corpse is plastered in the center, mocking me through the gaps in its limbs and crimson bloodbath. My mind runs blank. No. Yama! I squeeze my eyes shut, shaking the image out of my head. A second look shows that the picture is just an artist's interpretation of the Izumu flag. No bodies, no blood, just brown and red. What the hell was that? A 5 points deducted for lack of participation. Elizabeth? Elizabeth? Yes, ma'am. The flag, officially adopted during the Mayor Inori's first mandate, represents the ideal that anyone can succeed with hard work, regardless of background, status, or upbringing. Oh, thank you. Goodness gracious, I don't know what's going on with everyone today. Right, well, let's proceed. The flag is a proud symbol and has been acknowledged even by blah 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 blah. I pull out of her lecture, disinterested, as my classmates secretly pass messages via their hacked desk tablets. I switch my own tablet on, but wince at the bold 10 digits that greet me in reply. Don't say that to me, say that to him. Oh yeah, Shoji. I quickly close the application. My mind is a mess throughout the remainder of the class. Thinking about Soji, thinking about the crimes it's just too much. Lunch could not have come sooner. Surprisingly, Yahiko turns to me when the bell rings. Hey, wanna grab some lunch with Masudo and me? It kinda feels like it's been a while. Now that he mentions it, it really does. I almost don't remember the last time that the 4 of us had lunch together, assuming Ryugi joins us. I want to. I really do. But I don't know if I can talk to Masudo after yesterday's exchange. I think I'll pass for today. You sure? Yeah. Thanks for the invite, though. Okay. It's just... You know, dude. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm sorry. Heck, some days I feel like I haven't seen me in a long time. Well, there's always room for more minions if you feel like joining. I'll keep that in mind. He all but skips out of the classroom, whistling between his teeth. A few days ago, I would have considered it completely natural, but now it looks forced to me. I leave to get some lunch, ignoring Mizuki's concerned gaze. After grabbing some takeout at the cafeteria, I settle in the courtyard, enjoying the fresh weather the best I can. It's fairly empty. Most students prefer to eat in the cafeteria. The only point of interest is a small group of girls huddled in the back corner, examining the wall. Wait a minute. You're a freak. I can't believe they still let you come here. First Akane, now Shoji. You must pay for this. I edge closer, trying to find a clean perspective between the bundle of heads. I catch a glimpse of red hair. Again? Really? Maybe the administration loves you, but we know the truth. We won't stop until we have justice. You should stop showing your dirty little face around here. How are those thumbtacks in your gym shoes? They give you an idea of the pain we feel? Oh no, stop, don't bully the loli. No, bully the loli. No, she probably took them and saved them for her voodoo dolls. You're disgusting. Despite their biting words, Irie doesn't even bat an eye. She stares emptily at them, her hands folded neatly in front of her. Wow, look at her. She doesn't even care. Are you even human? Don't you feel nothing for the suffering of others? I bet she enjoys it. It's probably her favorite pastime. What kind of sick parents keep a retard like you? Whoa! Now stop bullying! I clench my hands as their words escalate to brutality. Irie isn't even lifting a finger to defend herself. No bully! And then, I suplex all of the female students in quick succession. Anyway, screw this. No one deserves this kind of... Why can't I say this? I'm so angry I can't pronounce these words correctly. No one deserves this kind of treatment. I step to the outer edge of the circle, keeping my voice flat. Innocent until proven guilty. Really seeing it now. The girls turn to me, surprise flickering across their faces. Oh well, if it isn't the heartless bastard. I wince at her remark but manage to recover in time to hide it. And if it isn't the overbearing moron. Excuse me? Don't even have the guts to bully a girl half your height without backup. She colors rapidly as the others leap to her defense. We're not even bullying her, we're being fair. You can't talk, look at what you said to Shoji. Because clearly, the best way to help a hurting friend is to hurt someone else. They completely disengage Irie, circling around me. Irie's killed people. Why are you taking her side? I bet he likes her. Yeah, he took her side last time too. I only absorb this calmly before I respond. Maybe Natsuki and Shigure have ruined me for life. And you have concrete evidence of these murders? I'm sure that geniuses like you would never stoop to accuse someone without standing. Well, when someone talks to her, they mysteriously disappear within the next few days. You five have also talked to all the people who have disappeared, but the only things you've killed are brain cells. Try again. What? Are you deaf? Haven't you heard all the rumors that she... Oh, I see. In the world of idiots, rumors qualify as concrete evidence. They stew silently, working to speak past their rage. I seize the opportunity to guide Irie out of the circle. Before we can leave, one of the girls steps in front of me with a hard look in her eye. You're taking the side of a monster. I return her stare with equal frigidity. Until you have actual evidence, kindly refrain from increasing the amount of stupidity I have to hear. Well, we stride away as the girls gape after us. I'm stricken with equal parts triumph and guilt. Yes, I won. Yes, I defended Irie. How ironic that it had to be by the same method that I condemned. Well, no bully the school loli. We stop at the school rooftop, where I take a moment to absorb the fresh air. Irie walks in front of me and examines me closely, a quizzical tilt to her brow. You were like... Shigure. Really? Yeah, I guess, yeah. Shigure and Natsuki. I got really smug, is what I did. Smug power. Yeah, I was. I scoff dryly. She frowns. Why did you stop them? I sink into the nearest bench. She settles beside me. Because... A wry laugh wrenches from my throat. Why didn't you stop them yourself? Why did you stand there? Why did you just let them kill you inside? Even while I'm yelling, I already know the answer. Because it's easier. Easier to take the pain. Easier to just sit there. Easier to let people call you a freak, a weirdo, a madman. Easier for you to blame yourself. Instead of answering my question, Irie wordlessly pulls something from her jacket. A play case. A handheld gaming console from Lemniscate. The Game Boy Advance SP, or well, I mean, at this point, 2018, well, I mean, either a 3DS or maybe a Switch, probably makes sense. So I don't know, I don't think it's exactly a Switch. She starts it up, and after tapping idly on the screen, hands it to me. I recognize it as the strategy RPG port of Code Geass, player versus player mode. Huh. You wanna play against me? A tiny nod. Ah, okay. Didn't know you played games much. I mean, apart from Left Alive and Fugue and, well, all the games I've been too scared to play. I select Susumi Kuromochi as my hero, leaving L'Orange Lamparade for Irie, and start producing some basic units. Then I end my turn and pass the play case to her. I guess it's local PvP? You gonna keep letting them push you around like that? Irie taps the screen with blinding speed and hands it back. I don't care. Really? I can't see any of her units through the fog of war. I set on a recon scout as my heavy troopers log from behind. They're saying some crazy stuff. Think of it this way. If you let them get away with it, they'll treat other people the same way, too. Irie ponders a little before making her move, but her fingers are just as assured as before. No, they only target me. I notice in bewilderment that my recon unit has seemingly vanished into thin air. I guess that she destroyed it. Quickly, I capture a factory and begin to produce tanks. Why just you? She passes it back almost immediately. They said it was because I have red hair. Really? I mean, in anime, red hair is not that it's not all that unique, is it? What? Therefore, I have no soul. I spot one of her infantry troops in the woods and quickly annihilate it with my tank. Nothing else is in sight. And also, is this a I don't think this is a real thing where you can pass the game around as you play PvP. As far as I know, anyway. A lot of modern games don't do that anymore. Really, they require you to have both devices, or at least the very creative ones. I guess you can play on one screen, but then I don't know. And how would it work? I mean, can't you just cheat? Because there's a fog of war, right? You can simply just keep the screen up on their turn and just look at the fog of war. I don't know, but I guess you just have to play honorably. I guess this game that they're playing that probably isn't real. That's an old joke. It's just an excuse to be mean to you. Oh, I guess they're just mentioning red hair as in, no soul. That old meme. Irie taps the play case. I hear an explosion and wince. It is supposed to be a funny joke? My tank has vanished without a trace. I begin moving my forces towards the forest, while sneaking my hero across the edge of the map. No, it's a stupid joke, and I should have been made. I'll tell you a funnier one if you like. She smiles lightly as she returns the play case. Yes. I can't tell if she's smiling because she has surrounded my forces, or if she's excited to hear the joke. I slip my hero through the fog of war. What does a clock do when it's hungry? It goes back 4 seconds. I wait for the punchline to hit, but Irie only freezes, considering this joke for a long pause. A clock can go back in time? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm like, Irie, I don't get it. What does a clock do when it's hungry? It goes back 4 seconds. Oh, it's a pun. Never mind, I get it now. It's because of the way it's written. It goes back. It goes back 4 seconds, as in it gets a second meal anyway. What? No, no, no. It's a pun. 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Going back for. Never mind. Nevertheless, Irie is smiling when she slips the play case into my hand. I'm left with just my final line of defense, but my hero finally reaches his intended destination, a special structure that doubles my Deus counter. Deus counter? I guess you win by points? I don't know. Anyway. How about this? A Mexican magician tells his audience that he'll disappear on the count of 3. He counts uno, then dos, and then disappears without a trace. Oh, it's another pun. I thought stage magic was just an illusion. I can only chuckle to myself. As expected, she completely missed the point. She makes her move. I hear a mass of explosions. Oh, I won. What? I grip the play case. Her units have completely surrounded my base and are 1 turn away from capturing my headquarters. Not today, Rogue Lamparade! I triumphantly conquer the special objective with Susamu Kuramochi and activate my Deus. Table turn! I reverse the ratio of my soldiers to yours. Our soldiers suddenly swap colors, leaving her with practically nothing. Even if it's the end of my turn, I know I've used my Deus well. She looks at the screen intently. I sit back and relax. Even if she manages to kill a few of my soldiers, she's surrounded. Then she taps on the screen and smiles. Good. Reinforcements. Nani? I lean over to look at the screen. My newly acquired soldiers still surround her character, but quite suddenly from the other side of the screen, a small squad of soldiers has appeared. Normally, a few soldiers would be nothing, but my army is still with LaRouge, and these new soldiers have a direct path to me. I blink and suddenly they're surrounding me. Susamu Kuramochi takes a couple down, but he's soon overrun. The words Victor, LaRouge Lamparade jump to life on the screen, oddly cheery considering the game's genre. I wonder if there is like a Code Geass strategy RPG game out there. I don't know. Is there? Is it any good? That was somewhat anticlimactic. What the? Nom nom nom, eat peach. And she goes back to eating peaches. What she loves the most. So you're the master of video games. Got it. Her smile widens suddenly. Is she happy with my compliment? I just understood the joke. What? 4 seconds. 4 seconds. She gets it because she's eating. 4. Oh. I should research the one about the Mexican magician. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll ever understand this girl. You're pretty passionate about video games, huh? I enjoy them. Are there any kinds you don't play? Bad ones. Well, I guess I can't argue on that one. So, do you have a favorite game out of all the ones you've played? Hyper Fabio Brothers. That was a quick answer. Hyper Fabio Brothers. Oh, why that one? You fight against the bad guy who steals peaches. Oh, peaches. Because it's still Princess Peach, I get it. I'm not sure what I was expecting. So, what got you into video games anyway? You didn't strike me as a gamer when I first met you. Gamer. Then again, she didn't strike me as a singer, and look how well that turned out. They seemed fun. So I played some. They were fun. So did someone just buy you a console and you decided, sweet, video games, or something like that? Like, what was the first game you ever played? Castles and Creatures. Castles and Creatures? First thing that comes to mind, Ghouls and Goblins, or Dungeons and Dragons, or I don't know. That's not Dungeons and Dragons. Is not like a video game though. Castles and Creatures. Oh, wait, isn't that a? That's a tabletop game, right? Oh no, wait, yeah, it is a reference to D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. Old-fashioned. Make your own stats, play with a party, go on adventures, all that stuff. Yes. How long? A standard table is 2 meters long. No, I mean, how many years have you been playing tabletop? Speaking with Airi Hiraga is an unnaturally good exercise in creating complete sentences. Oh, around 5 years. I played a lot before I learned about video games. But don't you need... I quickly stopped myself. A group of friends. That's what I was going to say, but it sounds too cruel, even for me. Never mind. I played with AI. AI? Huh? AI. Artificial intelligence. I know what it means, I was just surprised. Why? That's what was available. Available? Available where? At the, Hey. At the what? At the organization? At the lab? At the secret government research project? I don't know. We turn in synchronization. Haru Banya is standing at the rooftop entrance, arms folded across his chest. Well, that was convenient. I need to talk to you, Hiraga. I glance at Airi, looking for signs of discomfort, and her face is completely blank. Leave, Yama. The words are harsh, but her voice is soft. It's almost as if she was expecting this encounter. If you say so. I move to the door, but Haru grabs my shoulder, his eyes piercing into mine. Watch yourself. He releases me and continues to Airi as if he'd never said anything. So, is this what he meant earlier today? He's gonna talk with Airi? Clearly both he and Yahiko believe the rumors that Airi is being tied with the disappearances, but despite that, he's still talking with her. Just what could be so urgent to trump their fears? And are you sure you want to leave him? Or you want to, or rather leave her with Haru there? I don't know. Haru seems to dislike Airi. Hopefully he doesn't turn violent. I shake off my apprehension and return to class, resolving to ignore his words. But I don't think, I mean, he's friends with Yahiko, right? And Yahiko is a nice guy. I don't think, I don't think Yahiko would, allow someone violent into his, happy club. Then again, when thinking back, like, didn't Shoji, like, try to punch us in the face? Or something? So, Shoji was part of that club, or at least those group of friends that included Haru, you know? Again, I don't like the fact that we're leaving Airi alone with Haru up there on the rooftop. Oh well. I guess I don't have a choice, so I just go back after lunch. Afternoon classes are just as dreary as the morning, with one key difference. Yahiko is absent. The teacher seems relieved. If anything, when he catches the empty gap in the seating chair, he chirps about linguistics with a heightened spark in his eye. Yahiko doesn't return for the rest of the day. Let's take up Yahiko's time. I drift in between lessons, trying to bring myself to delete the number on my tablet. I can't do it. After what feels like an eternity, classes finally end. Masato doesn't come, Ryui doesn't come, Yahiko doesn't come. I'm still in the science as my classmates hurry outdoors to savor their precious hours of freedom before the gates are closed. Elizabeth is one of them, marching away with her growing crowd of groupies. Misuki is the only one to drop by my desk. Have you seen Ryu today, Yama? Ryui? No. If anything, I should be asking about her presence. I haven't seen her in a while. I see. If you see her, please take care of her. What do you mean? She only sighs vaguely, a furrow to her brow. Please. Then, without another word, she turns and strides off, flicking her phone between her hands. Take care of Ryui? Why? How? More questions, fewer answers. This is getting ridiculous. I restlessly swing my backpack over my shoulder and head out of the classroom. if I'm not going to get answers, or I'm not getting answers, I'll just have to find them myself. Where are we heading? I guess to the rooftop. And yeah, everything is just so weird. Everyone's kind of avoiding us. We're getting into arguments with like our friends are getting into arguments with each other, and things are not looking great because of the fact that we learned that someone was murdered in this academy. But well, hopefully we find out what's going on and save the day. Or maybe not, I don't know. Probably not. We probably won't be able to find the culprit so soon. But hopefully we find something out. Something that will ease our worries.